Today I'm going to show you how the FWC lost all of its credibility. It started in 2019 when thousands of Floridians began complaining about the spraying. So the FWC paused the spraying and went on a listening tour. I went to the Okeechobee meeting and there were hundreds of people there begging them to stop this spraying.
What I'm asking you, or better yet, I'm begging you, quit spraying, because this turns into this.
We even had areas up there that they sprayed the trees and killed everything green up and down the river. It was a mess.
The lake right now is an absolute nut pit. Dead zone, complete dead zones. Fire hose type apparatus going up and down these canals. And it's criminal. These are crimes against humanity.
And I'm begging you, please do what's right. But you gotta stop spraying, because it's killed the lake.
We need to stop spraying herbicides now. Just say no to Monsanto.
Yeah.
The lake's gonna die if it ain't stopped. Thank you.
This herbicide is significantly contributing to our nutrient problem and subsequently our algae problems that are destroying Florida's water.
Florida Wildlife, when I was told was in charge of the spraying, I couldn't believe it. Because if they're in charge of the spraying, they're supposed to be protecting the fish. Ain't happening, man. Okay? That's all I got to say.
My thing is to stop spraying the chemicals.
The fact is that you are contributing to this water quality problem.
Just let it go. Let nature heal itself.
But if you wholesale do it all the same way, you're just going to keep screwing up like you always do.
If you try to find a piece of hyacinth out in the lake today, it's extremely difficult. I only know one place, and I ain't going to tell you where it is. You spray that.
You've got to address this to the governor. This has got to be addressed, because this is going to be a dead lake in less than 10 years if y'all don't do something about this.
The part of my answer that there's many lakes
on this lake.
You're setting yourself up for a war.
Yes. On this lake. Yeah. You're avoiding the question, sir.
After the tour, Kip Froelich presented the results to the commissioners.
So what are we hearing on this tour? Well, generally, if you could sum it up, we're hearing a lot of dissatisfaction on the general condition of folks' lakes.
After the meetings, the FWC went right back to spraying like nothing had ever happened. So we began making videos showing the atrocities that this spraying causes. We caught them spraying birds, baby gators, duck boxes. We even caught them killing the habitats of endangered birds like wood storks and Florida's most critically endangered bird, the snailkite. Our videos went viral, so the FWC was forced to release a statement that said, "The video in question does not show any inappropriate behavior." They even ignored some of our state's top wetland biologists like Dr. Bob Knight.
For that. So I was really encouraging them to do pre and post monitoring for any aquatic plant management. And that's what they should be doing. That they shouldn't be spending their time figuring out what to spray. They should be using their time to really determine what the effects are of spraying and then reduce it to the level that's safe for the environmental resource that they're supposed to be protecting.
Thank you.
Whatever's best for the wildlife, not what's best for some herbicide company.
All this attention caught the eye of CNN, so they came to town and did a story on the spraying that got 23 million views.
That's what I do. I try to fix ecological problems. And the only thing that's going to work is to have more Mother Nature, like especially wetlands, and that's what was here, sort of cleaning the water.
Florida's Fish and Wildlife Commission declined 5 CNN requests for comment, so no word on what new ideas they might try.
By now, even Eric Sutton himself admitted that the trust had been lost.
And I think there's been some loss of trust between what we're charged to do and what we're trying to do.
Desperate to gain the public trust back, the FWC announced that they were going to put up $1 million for ideas to harvest the invasive plants. But they ignored the only real idea that the stakeholders were demanding, and that was one of FWC's subcontractors had submitted the plans to build a mega harvester that he could have built in just a few months.
And we have a lot of stakeholders who are complaining that we're doing it wrong,
Okay, then tell us how to do it better, right? And here's $1 million. So if you had $1 million, how would you do it differently?
The next slap in the face happened when the chairman of the FWC, Rodney Beretta, sued the FDEP to change their laws so that he could develop a piece of submerged land in the Lake Worth Lagoon. The public outcry was once again loud and clear.
So I hope today Rodney Beretta could just publicly state he has no intention of developing this pristine area of the lagoon adjacent to MacArthur Park. He has some nerve just even entering an application in the county. The chair of this very commission, Mr. Rodney Beretta, intends to destroy the marine ecosystems there that are present and develop a critically important area of the lagoon.
Not only should we fight this construction, but I call on Rodney Beretta to resign his position, and then he'll be free to pursue his true passion of real estate development.
Conflict of interest. I wish that the commissioner, Rodney Beretta, would either resign or withdraw his plan to build there if he truly is someone who wants to protect our environment.
I implore you to please ask him to do the right thing. Drop this project. Preserve this lagoon is the most beautiful place I have ever seen. Therefore, I strongly oppose Rodney Beretta's development of a Lake Worth Lagoon and ask for his resignation from the FWC or withdrawal of his planned development. Thank you so much.
At risk. So I'm asking the board members to just ask Mr. Beretta to make a decision. Either withdraw his application and not move forward or resign from the FWC as chairman and board member. Thank you.
With their credibility slipping away, the FWC then decided to draft lake management plans for Lake Okeechobee. They scheduled meetings so stakeholders could give their feedback, but by now, everyone had had enough, and hardly anyone showed to these meetings. The July 7th meeting drew 2 people. Unbelievable. Now that they got the public's input, they began working on the draft plan and finished it in late October. They scheduled more meetings so that they could present this draft so the public could once again have an opportunity to comment. So I went to Clewiston only to find out that they had canceled the meeting and instead they just posted the draft on their website. And I drove almost 2 hours to get here. And as you can see, I'll spin around here, but there is nobody here. I spent the next evening reading the entire report. There was not one mention anywhere in this document that stated that they were going to cut back on the herbicide spraying. If anything, it looks like they are going to expand the use of herbicides, at least when it comes to cattails. Their plan aims to build on existing management, including herbicide treatment of aggressive plant species like cattail. Their strategies usually consist of herbicide applications from a helicopter. As far as torpedo grass goes, the current strategy is to expand the current management areas while also applying herbicide to previously managed areas. That doesn't sound like a decrease to me. They even admit that they want to continue to apply herbicides in a manner consistent with FWC policy and existing regulations. If you thought the FWC was going to slow or stop its chemical assault on our lakes, you will be greatly disappointed in this plan. They have no intention on listening to the thousands of stakeholders that have demanded that they stop this spraying. Instead, they are going to continue to destroy our lakes. People, you better start getting loud.